In this tutorial, I will teach you how to answer structured interview questions. Now, interviewers are starting to use structured interview questions more often to assess a candidate's suitability for a role. Therefore, if you have a job interview coming up soon for any role or company, make sure you stay tuned because I promise to help you be the standout candidate. And just very quickly, if you are new to this channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Literally thousands of you are passing your job interviews. I can only help you if you are subscribed. And please give the video a like because that really does motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, let's jump straight into the tutorial. So to help you pass your job interview at the very first attempt, I will cover the following 3 things during this tutorial. Number 1, I will explain what structured interview questions are. Now, if you understand what they are, it empowers you to give perfect answers. Number 2, I will then give you lots of example structured interview questions and top scoring answers. And then finally, number 3, I will tell you where you can instantly download my brilliant responses to difficult structured interview questions, including the answers I'm about to give you during this video. So to begin with, what are structured interview questions? Well, structured interview questions are preset questions that assess how you have previously performed in specific situations. Now, those situations will be ones you are going to likely encounter in the workplace, and the hiring manager wants to be sure you can deal with them confidently and competently. Now, each candidate will get asked the same structured interview questions to make the process fair, and examples of structured interview questions include: tell me about a time when you had to overcome a difficult situation. Tell me about a time when you experienced conflict with a coworker. And also, tell me about a time when you received negative feedback. Now, my advice when answering structured interview questions is to make sure you use the STAR technique, S-T-A-R. So STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. So you start off your answer and you tell the interviewer the situation you were faced with. You then move on and briefly outline the task that needed doing. You will then give in-depth details about the action you took to complete the task before finishing off your answer and telling the interviewer the results following your actions. So let me now give you lots of brilliant example answers to difficult structured interview questions that use the STAR technique. So the first structured interview question I want to give you an answer to is: tell me about a time when you had to overcome a difficult situation. Here's my example response that uses the STAR technique. In my previous job, I was tasked with organising a large business meeting for the company owner. 50 people were due to attend. Now, 2 days before the meeting, the conference centre called me to tell me they'd had a flood the night before and I could no longer use their venue. It was my task to remain calm, quickly find a suitable alternative venue, and inform all attendees of the change of location. I immediately set to work calling around various hotels and venues to find one suitable for the meeting to take place that had sufficient parking for the attendees and who could supply refreshments at short notice. After spending 2 hours on the phone, I managed to find the perfect venue. I then spent the rest of the day drafting new meeting details, sending them out to all attendees and calling them individually to inform them about the change of venue. The end result was the meeting went ahead as planned, and it was a huge success for the company owner, who thanked me for my resilience whilst dealing with the challenging situation. The next structured interview question I recommend you prepare for is: describe a situation when you had to adjust to change in the workplace. This is a really difficult one to answer, but here's my example response to help you pass your interview. A new manager took over the running of our department and she wanted wanted to make various changes to the way we worked. In particular, she wanted to streamline working practices, reduce office waste, and make people more accountable for the projects they were working on. I saw it as my responsibility to embrace the changes and support the new manager in her role. I went to see her and offered to answer any questions she had about the current working practices and how I felt they could be changed to make improvements to the company. She asked me several questions before inviting me to help her write the new working practices, to which I agreed. Now, some team members were skeptical about the proposed changes, but I encouraged them to give them a try. After my manager implemented the changes, productivity and standards started to improve and morale in the team increased significantly. The next structured interview question we need to cover comes up all the time during job interviews, and that question is, tell me about a time when you experienced conflict with a coworker. Here's my example response that uses a STAR technique. I disagreed with a coworker on the best way to promote a new company product. They wanted to promote the product locally by using leaflets and posters, whereas I wanted to promote it online to reach a wider audience. It was my task to find a way through the conflict and reach an agreement that was in the best interests of the product launch. I asked my coworker questions to determine why they felt local advertising was best. I then explained why I felt online advertising would be more beneficial because we could reach a wider audience and also track sales and advertising spend. I suggested we should try both types of advertising for a 1-week period, and whichever method yielded the best results would then be used for the rest of the campaign. My coworker agreed this was a good idea. After the 1-week trial, the online advertising gave very strong returns, and we switched the full campaign to that method. By trialing both ideas, I was able to remove the conflict and put the needs of the business first. The next structured interview question I want to work through is, tell me about a time you received negative feedback. Do not answer this question by saying you've never received negative feedback. This question is assessing how well you react to feedback and how you use it to improve. Here's my example response to help you. My manager asked me to put together a PowerPoint presentation for an internal meeting she was holding the following day. Now, the presentation was about the company's performance for the year to date, and I needed to include all relevant sales data. Now, when I delivered the presentation to my manager, she was disappointed in how it had been put together. She said the presentation was not adequately detailed for what she needed. I listened to her feedback and asked questions to determine exactly what she wanted before starting the presentation again. When I delivered the presentation a second time, she told me it was perfect. I learned a lot from that situation, and I now ask plenty of questions whenever I am given an important task or project to ensure I complete it to the required standard. So there you have it, lots of example answers to difficult structured interview questions. Now, if you want to download those answers on my full set of STAR technique interview questions and brilliant responses, click that link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download the guide. You can have it in your inbox within 2 minutes from now, and it's going to help you be the standout candidate at your forthcoming interview. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Literally thousands of you are passing your job interviews. I can only help you if you are subscribed. Please give the video a like, because that tells me you find these tutorials useful, and it also motivates me to create more content for you. And don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It's always an honor and a pleasure to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your interview. Have a great day.